Hi friends, this is FirearmPop, and today I have another in my series of armed citizen stories, and once again coming right out of First Freedom magazine. That's the NRA publication, and they are called Armed Citizen Stories. So let's get right to them today. Tim Patterson was cooking at a big yellow mobile kitchen, as he did every day, when he heard a scream coming from the parking lot of a nearby Goodwill store. He rushed toward the cries for help and didn't hesitate to draw his Kimber 1911 .45. And when he saw that the man had grabbed hold of a woman and had a knife to her throat. "Drop it or I'll shoot," Patterson warned. The assailant immediately released the woman, dropped the knife, raised his arms, and fled. The victim, a Goodwill employee who was carrying a bank deposit in her purse at the time of the attempted robbery. No one was injured, and that happened in Idaho. Okay, and police were called about 9:30 a.m. and notified by a woman that someone was breaking into her home. The homeowner was awakened by a noise and immediately retrieved her handgun. The noise she heard was the sound of a man kicking in the door of her apartment. She met the intruder at the bedroom door, pointed the gun at him, and demanded he leave. The trespasser fled without hesitation, and that was in Nashua, New Hampshire. A would-be burglar was arrested after a homeowner called 911 while detaining the man at gunpoint. The intruder, a 22-year-old Jacob Pino, entered the home wearing several layers of clothing, gloves, a black neon mask, and shoes covered with plastic bags to avoid leaving identifying prints. A backpack containing a .22 caliber handgun and a money clip belonging to the homeowner were also recovered at the scene. And that happened in Pueblo, Colorado. When an intoxicated 45-year-old Paul R. Newman returned home to the room he rents from a woman with an 11-year-old son, he suspected his room had been tampered with and confronted his landlord. He kicked in her bedroom door and began choking her. The commotion woke the victim's son, Colby, who attempted to defend his mother with a board, to no avail. Newman chased the boy outside, but Colby managed to take refuge inside with his mother and lock the door. Newman tried to climb through an open window and began threatening both the boy and his mother before he managed to grab the woman's arm. Colby then used his BB gun to shoot Newman in the face several times. Colby and his mother ran to a neighbor's house to call 911. After being taken to the hospital and treated with his injuries, Newman was arrested for felony assault and 2 counts of harassment. And that was in Bellingham, Washington. Now, boy, that story just goes on all this, what size caliber handgun is sufficient. Well, this kid got the job done with a BB gun right in the face. Kudos to him. That puts all those to rest. That say, 22's no good, and you got to have a 45 or a 357 Magnum or 44. Well-placed shots, my friends. Anyway. Early one morning, a resident awoke to the sound of someone shuffling around inside his home. He grabbed his gun, proceeded to search the premises, and discovered a man hiding in his basement. The resident fired 2 rounds from his firearm, striking the suspect both times. The injured suspect reached his vehicle and fled the scene. The suspect was later hospitalized. In his wounded state, he struck several parked cars and then crashed a vehicle only a block away. And that was in Florida. It was 5 p.m. when a mother returned home with her baby to find the front door slightly ajar and a man wearing a black ski mask in the hallway. Sorry. The 35-year-old woman quickly shut herself in the bedroom, retrieved her 9mm handgun, and proceeded to shout at the man to leave her house immediately. When she opened the door, the man spotted the gun, dropped the piggy bank and a kitchen knife he was carrying, and bolted out the back door. The woman went to the door and fired a single shot at the man as he ran through the bushes behind the house. She saw a second intruder running through the bushes. As she phoned police, the woman found her stereo system partially dismantled, the speakers ripped from the wall, and her wireless internet router on the floor. After the incident, the Spartanburg County Sheriff Chuck Wright said, "I'm thankful that someone in her life taught her how to use a firearm, and I'm thankful that they did, because she and her child could have been victims. There were two men, one armed with a knife. They could have gotten ugly for her. Things could have gotten ugly for her." Greenville, South Carolina. I have problems with that story, as you can guess, and I hope you do as well. Yes, great for her. She had a 9mm. She scared them away. They took off into the woods. Her life wasn't in danger anymore. She didn't need to use her weapon to fire at them. That was wrong. And I'm surprised the sheriff, County Sheriff Chuck Wright, didn't point that out, that yes, he's thankful that someone taught her how to use a handgun and how to handle it, but she shouldn't be taking shots at guys running through the woods. Okay, just my 2 cents, my editorial on that one. Comment if you agree with me or you don't agree with me. Let me know. After a series of burglaries were reported in the area, a resident returning home from walking his dog to find his door unlocked. He smelled cigarette smoke and his dog immediately began to bark. An intruder in the house fled when the resident pulled out the handgun he carried and fired 2 warning shots into the ground. Police were called and, through a detailed description, were able to catch the 52-year-old suspect within 15 minutes. That was Altoona, Pennsylvania. Wow, once again, firing 2 warning shots into the ground. Tilt, not a good idea. Those things could have ricocheted and hurt somebody. In the ground or up in the air, warning shots are never the right choice. If you're going to pull that trigger, you better be pulling it in defense of your life. Anyway, that's today's versions of The Armed Citizen, and I hope you agree with my commentary, and like I said, leave me a message down in the comments section. Okay, this is FirearmPop. Be safe out there, and God bless. Bye now. This is FirearmPop, and I approve of this message.